over 1 year.
Over 1 year of real news and real nonsense.
And not everybody can bring you both of those at once.
That's right. That's exactly
Kids.
right. It's tough.
Ooh,
So
I do like on this new background how the beeple is like that beeple is more, nice position.
Nice.
welcome to the news.
Episode 87.
Wow.
We're nearing that hundo. We're about to break open a hundo.
That's right. Episode 87. And have we got an episode for you today? Some lovely special guests. We've got Serenity Pictures and we've got
Lido Nation.
We're going to be speaking with them in just a little bit for some nonsense now. But first, a little intro.
You know what I'm curious about?
Say, yeah.
I do. So I wonder if this counts as, in a way, I guess Serenity Pictures has now had 3 appearances, but it hasn't been Rona every time. So now, is it still under that umbrella of?
I don't think so.
That's a really good question.
Because
the actual guest is important.
He'd only appeared for one project every time, and it's a different project every time he's on. So he'd only have one appearance.
Okay.
That's true.
That's a good point. I guess.
Fettuccine too. They're always showing up for different stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
So this will be Evo's very first appearance on the show. So we're very excited to welcome him.
Get on that leaderboard, Evo.
Today, due to graphic meltdown, there is no Stella card. Tyler, tell us about what you've been going
short-circuited.
Yeah, I think I definitely fried my GPU. I think it was
He's making too much clay in there.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think the clay was just I think it was the Angel Baby Hit Squad with all the lights and stuff. I had it running it was rendering for like 3 days straight.
I watched that. That was it.
Yeah,
it just kept getting more and more bright and crazy.
Yeah.
Oh wow, well this must be the end. And then I look at the bottom and it's like 1,000 out of 2,000 frames.
Oh yeah, it gets really crazy.
Going.
It's
He's
funny though.
Fireworks in his.
No, it's funny because I make my robots with glitch screens, and then they glitched my screen with the
revenge.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. So what that means is no Stella card on auction today. That's okay. We'll make it through. But we're very excited for Tyler to get his brand new GPU. Is it better or just like the same?
It's a different one, but it's a little bit better, but it's pretty much the same.
Progress.
A little bit. What's up, Nudes? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, Nudes.
Glad to have you here. So we're gonna begin some nonsense here. I know that some folks backstage have been working on their cameras and getting all the technical issues sorted, but as it happens,
And if you guys at home ever have any nonsense that you would like to throw out and hear people nosh on, I can't guarantee we're gonna use it, but we would love for you to submit it in chat.
True. Well, why don't we begin with some nonsense?
Then it's a real collab.
Some fresh nonsense. So we're going to bring out all of our guests, and we're all going to talk about some nonsense. Let's do it. Woo!
Welcome.
Hello.
Buddy.
Hello.
Welcome, guys.
Everybody's looking sharp, ready to get nonsensical here. Actually, this first question I have is kind of real. This is like a kind of a real question, but I think it will say something about like who everybody is, but what their answer is.
All right,
so
let's see what happens.
We all know that we're all one step away from homelessness at any time. So would you rather dumpster dive for food or ask customers outside of a restaurant to buy you a meal?
Welcome, Stephanie.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey, you made it just in time for the nonsense.
Yes.
Probably
Dumpster dive or ask customer outside of a restaurant, outside my food. I will go with dumpster dive.
Me too.
Especially in America, we throw away a lot of good food.
Yes,
I'm
true.
with-
So fresh on the top.
I think Team Lido's definitely dumpster divers. A lot of treasures to find. I don't know. I saw Stephanie nodding. Is that speaking out of turn?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in the dumpster with y'all.
Damn right. Especially if you go to a pizza place. I mean, they're gonna throw out a
Get a whole
completely
pizza,
whole
yeah.
pizza.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
So they got to toss
it's
it or
even in a
something.
box and
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
We'll strategically do some dumpster diving. Are you on you in the dumpster as well, Evo?
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy it, and then look for these tiny little packets, with half of the content still inside. Super nutritious, small, condensed. I think that'll keep me going for a while.
Exactly.
All right.
Wow, I'm very glad we're all in agreement.
Well, okay, so this is maybe something that we could tie in. This is the next question. So, for some reason you're homeless, right? Let's just say it was a fire, okay? Your house burned down. And here is...
Or just the world today.
Well, whatever. But here's the question. So in that whatever event took you into homelessness, would you rather have lost all your photos or all your mementos?
Just find memento though.
Collect, little reminders,
Your
like
NFT,
a ticket or
your
something
IRL
from
NFTs.
a show you went to, or some special.
Oh, okay.
Little knick-knack your mom gave you. I don't know.
What do NFTs count
any
as?
mementos. Do I have mementos?
NFTs don't count as mementos. Obviously, we know the answer if we included NFTs in there.
Perhaps a small bird
a
you
little
have.
small bird that sounds like a bird when you blow
or
into it.
Or a king cake baby that you treasure.
Baby, whatever you got lying around. I got lots of mementos.
Well, what would you rather?
See, I think the photos I'd rather keep because there's a lot going on in those photos. The mementos are physical reminders, but the photos are like, they're worth 1,000 years, words or whatever,
Yeah. Because we have to assume that we can't just have the photos on the cloud or something.
Right.
In the movie John Wick, it always drove me crazy that this is the only picture he has of his wife he loves so much.
That's just bad planning.
I'm like, come on, you gotta have that on the cloud, at least one.
Yeah,
So,
I don't have a lot of mementos. I have this is not true anymore, but before I got married, I try to live a life where I could move with one car. Everything could fit in one car. And so I didn't collect mementos, but I do have pictures.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we're a picture group here.
I try to proactively purge mementos, honestly.
Yeah,
That's real.
Yeah, I find mementos about as I don't know. This might be controversial, but I think mementos are about as worthwhile as picking a favorite sports team and following them all year and wasting your time. I'm just not a sports guy. I know it's probably not that popular, but I find them in the same category.
Guys either.
Wait, Evil, are we all crazy right now? I feel like you have a lot of mementos behind you.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to mention, I refer to this place as the cave, and it's kind of like a lead junkyard of mementos. All of it burnt down. Half my brain would be like, oh no. And the other half would be like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's really funny. I totally get that.
That's pretty good.
Damn.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see if there's another. I don't know if we can.
You're kind of like a wizard that mementos. They kind of power you, but maybe they also keep you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go with that.
Okay, so continuing in this vein of your life being destroyed by some crazy event, because this.
We like to keep it thematic. We like to
thematically. We're on board here. Well, actually, quick. Let's look at the chat because a few people have been responding.
Yeah.
So One Trippy Planet says mementos are overrated. So that's fine. Would you rather dive in the dumpsters from CNFT Con or from Rare Bloom?
Isn't Rare Bloom outside or something?
Rare Bloom's in Denver, so it would probably be, more preserved, by the cold, as opposed to being hot in the dumpster.
Yeah, so that tells me Vegas dumpsters aren't.
Yeah.
All right, you're right. Let's do.
Just because it's a Vegas dumpster, I mean that.
Yeah,
just seems...
yeah. If it weren't,
It just sounds so wrong.
All
It
right,
does
one
sound
more.
less
One
appealing.
more
You
question.
already find somebody in there, not necessarily alive.
That's true. That's a good point.
Okay, so in this crazy event, would you rather that it blinds you or makes you forget all of your memories up to this point?
Forget. Yeah, there's a very practical reason for this. Is
That was
because
so quick.
I read Day of the Triffids when I was small, and that's goddamn terrifying. And I never ever want to be blind because I know that's when the plants will come out.
That's when the plants will come out. You heard it here. Damn.
All right, anybody else blind or memory loss? And
My
I guess
memory.
you're also homeless, so that's tough.
I don't know. Memory loss for me, for sure. Maybe if we were all like plugged into the metaverse and stuck to our chairs, then I wouldn't mind being blind.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we don't have the brain interface yet, so we need our eyes.
exactly until Elon Musk comes through, I want to see, baby.
I find this one really difficult because I want to see, but I also think that, you know, that my memories are very integral for my mental health and like how I exist in my brain. I feel like we're closer to getting our vision repaired if we're blinded than we are to getting our memories re-uploaded. So I'm at least leaning more towards I'd rather be blind.
Wow.
Because I'll remember all the shit I did see, and maybe I'll become one of those cool, like, blind guitar players or, like, you know.
I think I'd rather keep my memories. I spent a long time trying to get all these.
I know, exactly.
And I like a lot of
it's
them.
It's a collection. Looks rare.
Yeah, plus if all your junk burns down, you'll have like no idea who you were.
Oh,
Zero.
that's true. Lose all your pictures.
That's true.
Your pictures, at least.
Fresh start is nice.
That's funny.
Fresh starts are good, though. You know, it's like, but
It's like you save your pictures and then you go blind. So you don't even
There you go.
save your pictures for nothing.
I was kind of connecting those two as well. I was like, uh-oh. I think, you know, as a writer, I think I would rather just like have less light bills. You know, like my light bill is now reduced every month, and I could just sit and write all my stories. You know, so
yeah,
I'd be all right with that.
Mm.
I mean, if I have to choose,
A little braille typewriter.
For the little braille.
Well, at that
and
point,
they're
you
going
can
to
just
be
dictate.
hooking you up
Right?
more all the time.
Well, that sounds like a good bit of nonsense. I think we got through that pretty well. It was interesting how we're all connected.
Yeah, that was our most
that was
connected stream. You know, like we usually try to connect them, like you were saying, Benjamin, like, you know, you kind of start to do that in your head. So we like to do that. But this one was very thematically sound.
Yeah. All right. Well, that has been the end of our Nonsense Now segment. We will be talking with Lido Nation right after we do the CNFT news. And then after our Lido Nation guest slot, we'll be chatting with Evo about Serenity Pictures. Each of those guest slots will be about a half hour. The news should also be about a half hour or less. So let's get cracking, y'all. Thank you all so much for coming. We're looking forward to talking to you about what you're working on.
Looking forward.
All right, here we go.
All right, the
Okay.
CNFT news for the week. This has
There.
been a pretty big news week, y'all.
There's stuff going on. So first thing go ahead.
Oh no, I'm excited about this one. It's big.
Yeah. The Endmaker token.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Right. The claim phase is live, which means you got to go to this website and put your wallet address into, or your ADA handle into their little, form. And then you'll be registered. So let's tell you a little bit about that.
I need to do that.
Yeah, you got plenty of time. It's to the 28th, so we're good. The Endmaker token airdrop is live. Well, the first phase of it anyways. Those who are eligible have until September 28th to claim their token. Who's eligible? Probably everybody.
That's true.
Not wrong. As Tobes.
P-Tobes.
P-Tobe.
You don't even know how to spell our own nickname.
P-Tobes, I see. I always imagine it as a P and
A
then
dash.
a T,
T-O.
and then Tobes was a separate thing.
Well, we all have our own special way.
Patobes.
Patobes.
This is how nicknames develop.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, as P-Tobes explained in his tweet, every single NFT that was minted through NMaker Studio or NFT Maker version 1 is eligible. That means if you own an NFT on Cardano, there's a 25% chance that you will receive some NMaker tokens in this airdrop. But you do have to claim them. This is the claim phase of the airdrop. The redeem phase begins on September 29th and goes through October 13th. In that phase, in the current phase, you need to register your wallet to claim your tokens. You can register multiple wallets, but it's one wallet at a time. ADA handle, wallet, stake address, whatever you got. There are 30 million tokens available to be claimed. So if we just go to this page and see what that looks like. You just go here, you click claim now, you enter your address, and that's it.
Try something real quick. Try the CNFT News wallet.
I already added that one.
Oh.
I've actually added both
mine.
CNFT News wallets. Let's do a list.
Okay. Because what I was going to say is I know yesterday I was trying to add multiple wallets and it wasn't try to add another one right now. See what happens.
So when you click claim now, it says this, you got to refresh. You refresh it and it'll reset that form and you can add
you just have to refresh. Oh my God. I feel dumb.
Yeah.
Yesterday I kept opening up private or those tabs that like the incognito. Like
yeah.
Well, that'll work
That's
too.
a good idea. Yeah.
I could just refresh it.
Yeah, so that's out there. So you can't actually get them yet. You have to first register your wallet to become eligible, and then you'll get them during the next phase.
I have a news story I want to share.
Ooh, what's up?
That this is for all NFT kind, and it is that the Ethereum merge happened and it went well, and we can all celebrate that there is more proof of stake and that we won't have to hear for as long about everything we do being not environmentally friendly, because it will shift. And Charles made a really nice video celebrating this victory for all of crypto, and I just really like it when everybody's nice to each other.
Proof of stake.
And Jack Dorsey did a tweet about how proof of stake is a problem, but I don't know. He posted some article about how the one on Ethereum wasn't good, and Charles was pointing out that our proof of stake is actually different from Ethereum's proof of stake, and some of the things are not inherent with proof of stake. It's kind of how you execute it and blah, blah, blah. So I thought it was interesting, and y'all should check it out.
Certainly an important bit of news,
Definitely.
whether it's CNFTs or regular NFTs or even just crypto. Snaps. People who are not interested in NFTs at all should perk up at this. I don't know why you're watching our show. To be honest, this might be
as people on Cardano. It is interesting. I've been really into Reddit the past couple weeks, heavy again, and there's a big proof of work people there, and they have a bunch of arguments on security and stuff. But it's interesting to see the staking for Ethereum is a lot different than Cardano. I mean, I don't know enough to speak on it now, but for one, I think your assets are actually
locked.
It's a whole different.
Yeah, you have to have a different staking wallet. I saw
Is that right?
Yeah.
We're not Ethereum experts.
That's not how we do it around here. That's all I know.
I'm sure we'll learn more about it as time goes on too.
Next news story: clay tokens.
Fresh from the kiln.
Actual physical clay tokens.
Dude.
So Clay Team's getting prepared for CNFTCon and Rare Bloom by baking some clay tokens IRL. They tweeted there will be a limited batch available at both events. I hope they bake more than those.
How are we going to get these? That'll just take care of the Clay Team and a few extra. Yeah.
Let's see if anything else. Adam likes it unbaked. Hot clay. Keeping an artisan. Young Ada needs this. All right, I think we're all on the same page here. Looking good. like that clay token. We'll be giving out some of our own stuff at CNFT Con. We've got some mugs that we've ordered. Maybe we could show.
Oh, we
that
gotta talk
design.
about who is gonna have pins today.
Yeah, we could talk more about that too. But I want to show off this fancy mug design. We've got a brand new
CNFT Con exclusive.
CNFT Con, that's right, exclusive mug, and I'm trying to figure out where that was.
In a message to Marco. Oh, there.
All right, so this is a nice mock-up that Will put together. Take a look.
Oh, Will.
So, if you want one of these mugs, it's kind of like this one that I've got here, except for some very special editions. We got BuffyBot on there.
Buffy made it herself.
We have a number of these that we will be selling at CNFT Con. Now, we're not like trying to make a bunch of money off this, but we are trying to put them out there and cover our costs at the very least. Mm-hmm. So that's our goal here. Mm-hmm. But I want one. That'll be a lot of fun. And we did get permission to use BuffyBot on these mugs, so we're all in the clear.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Yummy Island.
Dude, I can't wait for Yummy Island.
Yes,
I
love Future Fest, and
such
these
a
videos
good
just get me
combo.
so hyped, honestly.
I know, me
those
too.
jet skis. I want to ride those.
Dude, imagine how fun it's going to be to have an island vibe after that Future Fest event. So you thought CNFT Con was the only event we had to look forward to?
You fool.
You were wrong.
You goddamn fool.
Before we get to meet in person, we all get to meet up together in the metaverse to party on Yummy Island. The dates have been announced for the Yummy Universe Future Fest collab event. It will be a 3-day event beginning Thursday, September 29th, ending on October 1st. Hey, right before we leave. More details to come, but there will be some adorable Naru accessories available for your FutureBot. Any well-dressed FutureBot will know that they got to get their Naru on.
So we can see some of those accessories here. We got a nice little backpack. We got a unicorn horn, a Yummy hat,
unicorn horn,
and a well, I guess it's not a unicorn horn. It's a
that's true.
narwhal horn.
Yeah,
which is actually a tooth. So that's right. So and we also have these balloons, which is very cool, and I'm sure there are more as well. And it looks like you can reserve or you can mint some of those with Yummy token. That's great. Like to see that. All right, Tyler, you want to take us to the community provides?
Sure.
A little spicy.
Interesting. I don't know if I've seen this. So Will writes, I know we're in a bear market right now, and there's a lot of spiciness in the space lately. But at the core, the Cardano community, the core of the Cardano community spirit is still strong. And this is a perfect example of that. So in a tweet from Lyra 2081, they asked for help from the community because they accidentally sent all their NFTs to the wrong wallet. Their tweet was retweeted 67 times, a bunch of quote tweets, and a bunch of likes. The words spread throughout the community, eventually reached the person who had the NFTs, and they were sent back to the original person.
Yay!
So shout out to Drew Aces, who let us know about this.
Who got all that free stuff and sent it back.
And you can tell, I mean, their profile is like good vibes and nice things, so it's not surprising they would send it back.
That's good luck too. I mean, out of all, I don't know how it happened, but out of all the Cardano wallets,
that person saw.
Yeah.
They made a big mistake.
Or knew someone who saw. Yeah. How many NFTs was it? Oh my god!
So we don't really know, but
that's so scary. I've never even seen the send all button.
It's there.
Oh, I better make note of that shit.
I believe in Eternal. You have to enable the ability to send all before you can. So you have to do it on purpose. I've done it one time.
I don't think I could ever bring myself to do it.
Yes, it was on purpose. It was just moving.
Well, I guess if
around,
it wasn't that much stuff, I could. Yeah.
I know, right? Well, you probably want to do a test transaction before you do a send all. Mm-hmm. That's just probably good for you. Flint Wallet mobile dApp browser. Flint Wallet released their dApp browser for their mobile wallet, or DApp if you want to be like slow about it. I mean, DApp is a lot snappier. I'm just saying. They wrote an article explaining that this was a fully open dApp browser, meaning that the mobile wallet can now be used to interact with any and all dApps in the Cardano ecosystem that have been configured to be usable on mobile devices. So this is another fully integrated mobile wallet solution on Cardano. Only the second one, I want to say. Eternal and then this.
Yeah, it seems like
I
it.
think so.
Pretty good. Well, it's good to have some, other people doing some competition. I mean, if Eternal was the only one forever, then they would stagnate. That's how it goes.
Definitely.
All right, Jungle Mobile.
Jungle Mobile.
What do we know
So
about this one?
CNFT Jungle released an app that's now available on mobile with a ton of features. It has market overview, trending collections, multiple wallet portfolio, watch lists, collection view, updating calendars, mint reminders, market event notifications, and address search. So that's actually very cool.
Estimated value for your portfolio as well, just like CNFT Tools has. I've got the floor value and the estimated. Cool.
I always get confused because they do so much with JPEG Store, but is NFT Jungle? They're basically just like they're not a marketplace specifically. They're like
I think they're a marketplace, aren't they?
I know they were originally, but I think now it's more like, I could be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure like they have like a marketplace, but like links to JPEG Store or CNFT.io. Like it links to like all the marketplaces, I think.
I know that a lot of people use like stats and stuff, the way they integrate with it, certainly. But that's a really good question.
Yeah, either way, this is
I don't think it's a marketplace. Okay. I was under the impression it was like just like analytics.
I know it was for like a tiny bit in the beginning, but I think you're right. I think it is mostly just analytics.
We're gonna find out.
It says listing info.
So listing info, and you click it, and it takes you to the store on which it is listed. So similar to CNFT Tools, then.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get more involved in CNFT Jungle.
Yeah.
Because I've been hearing more and more about it.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
It's just hard once you figured out how to do something.
You get your routine.
Exactly. There's a routine. I know how to use the websites I know how to use.
Yeah, same with the last one too. Like I want to use Flint Wallet just to try it out, but
exactly
saying that for like 2 months.
Exactly. Well, now it's on mobile. Actually, that could be good.
Sure.
Could be a good little change. All right, let's take a look. We got a few more stories here. This next one is an update on Eternal Wallet. So see this. They've got some nice updates here. KYC, if you want to buy ADA via their Gardarian integration. Credit card, instant buy. Oh, look at that. So you can now purchase ADA through Eternal.
Very nice.
That's crazy, bro. Of course, you have to have the full account set up, but very interesting. They also got a lot of, other stuff going on here. Account names. Being able to actually name the account is good. Special badges for well-known smart contracts. I like that. Gets you a little bit of extra feel-good vibes when you're trying to interact with something. There's a whole lot going on here, y'all.
Fancy
price charts.
Wow.
There's too much.
Holy crap!
There's a lot going on.
Check it out.
But it's pretty cool. Automates the cleanups of accounts with too many tokens. I'm going to try that one out. I have a wallet with like 500 NFTs in it.
Wait, what did you say?
Get anything out of it? It'll automate the cleanup of account with many tokens.
Okay,
that's all the different UTXOs. Like I do have this problem.
Me too.
So much,
so many NFTs and no ADA.
Anything out of the wallet, like it literally will not let me.
Yeah.
So it's not great, but maybe they're fixing it. Hey. It's nothing compared to the problems we used to have in this space. Okay, things are getting better, even though there's still some shit to deal with. Rug pull.
We need to have some sort of rug pull alert sound noise. Oh yeah, we do have that. I forgot. Yeah. But we need to get a fancier one.
Any of these working for you?
I like the wah wah wah. That one's working for me.
These are good rug pull sounds.
Yeah.
Well, this is the rug pull, the rotten ones. Well, I guess they were
They were
they were
self-proclaimed.
fully rotten. That's true. So everybody should be aware of this rug pull, and we got a little tweet here. So they have more rugs planned with a mint this month.
Hey, I mean,
catch me if
I like how they're being honest about it because they're not the only ones doing that.
They call themselves rotten to begin with. So
good. You know what? That's good that they're doing this because you know what? It shows people, the people buying these shit I mean, I don't know anything about this project, but it like shows the people buying those projects, like the mentality of the people putting these out.
Yeah,
like I like how they're being blunt. Like just, of course they're gonna do it again. People keep buying.
Yeah.
Like it's it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
People still just want the newest thing, no matter what the hell it is, because it might moon.
Mm-hmm.
You fools! I said that a lot this episode. All right. Well, obviously it sucks if you got rug. You're not necessarily a fool for being rug, but you might be. So you should examine yourself and just see if you could have figured that out.
I'm so excited about the next story.
Oh, welcome to the.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just want to say shout out to Will again, as always, because this is a very good news doc, as always.
Hell yeah, it is.
Will's delivering. Sure. So here we have the
He's
Stoner's Minute. Now, of course, obviously, it's more than a minute.
But it's a Stoner's Minute.
So he thinks it's a minute. He's just stoned. And I get it. That makes sense.
No, even he knows it's not a minute.
Well, according to our news doc, Mr. Pistachio is threatening to sue Big Joe because he is trying to steal our thunder on YouTube, which is very understandable that Mr. Pistachio would think
Mr. Pistachio would.
Because he's a terrible man.
He covered so many, I just love it so much already, and I'm so glad he has moved to YouTube, despite what Mr. Pistachio thinks. And he even talked about his Wag Me Award and showed it off.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's skip to that part.
And he said he's going to have an acceptance speech. He said he's fashionably stoner late for his acceptance speech.
Oh, yeah, if he sends that, we'll definitely play it. All right, let's see what he said about his Wag Me Award, which he won on this show on July 22nd, which was our TV at CNFT NASA's 1-year anniversary.
It's a long story.
Extravaganza.
I would just feel like a little more pressure to, bring you more. Shout out to CNFT News. If you don't subscribe to their YouTube channel or follow them on Twitter, make sure you do. They just had the Wag Me Awards, and I was privileged enough to win one of the Wag Me Awards. Check it out. Look at this dope 3D award I won right here. You could check out I believe it was their 1-year anniversary episode maybe a few weeks ago. You can go check that out on YouTube. But yeah, shout out to CNFT News and the Wag Me Award that I got. I appreciate it. Oh, by the way, the award was for something about not wearing my pants during one of their interviews was the award I won. Oh, look, it's right here. First guest to openly admit to not wearing pants on the show. Live. I don't know what this means, but I know when you win, you're supposed to.
Oh my god, dude, I'm subscribing right now.
I know. It's really good.
All right.
And look at that crypto fairy they made him. That's the Big Joe crypto fairy.
That's hilarious.
I was trying to send his account to our chat, but it won't let me.
Oh, well, I'll drop the at least the video that posted. So there's the Stoners Club premiere. Take a look at that if you got a little bit of time. It's only 10 minutes, worth it. All right, 2 more stories, and then on to our special guests.
Hell yeah.
I did this one. So Pixel Page, their Pixel links are now available for public mint. So the public mint for Pixel links is now open. Holders of the Genesis NFTs will receive slight discounts on pricing. And you can see this tweet here with with the pricing chart.
Very nice. Well, I'm hoping that Pixel Pages takes us all by storm. We've used it more than once now, and it's been very convenient and just the right tool when we did need to use it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure. I've seen a lot of cases where it was the perfect thing.
That's right. Very cool. Very cool.
So wait, are these people that got those really good, like the really good block owls, like the really good cubes? What were they called?
So that's what they're talking about. Holders of the Genesis.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
pixels.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
those are.
But I think anyone, anyone can mint. But if you have one of those blocks, it's like you get a discount depending on which one you have.
Cool.
Right. We got an emerald or a sapphire. I don't remember.
Emerald.
It was pretty cool. It was
Yeah.
only emerald. Well,
I
think I got a sapphire.
You have a sapphire.
I think I pulled
have
one.
an emerald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loving that. Okay, next up and last up, Cardano Women Affirmation Collection.
So Cardano Women is releasing a collection. Actually, hey, this is
one.
my screensaver right now, and I can't get it to show up alone, but it says "I am enough."
Right.
Isn't that nice?
That's cool.
And that was from the V1 collection, though. This is V2, and there are screensavers in 5 different languages, 7 possible NFTs to mint in different colors, and each mint, it's really cool. Each mint comes with a phone and computer background in the same color, so you get the NFT and you have it very easy to set up as your background. The 5 languages available are English, Spanish, Portuguese, Mandarin, and Hindi. Very fancy. Those are like a good assortment of languages. And the drop date is Saturday, September 24th at 4 p.m. UTC. Minting will be open for 48 hours. Price not available yet, but it was definitely affordable the first time.
All right, very cool. Affirmative.
I'll be getting a new affirmation for sure.
Exactly. Another drop that's coming up soon, and we're not 100% sure if it's going to be tomorrow or not, but it might be, is the Cardania Astral Alliance unopened card packs, which are the last card pack that they're going to drop before you can start actually opening your card packs and getting the cards that are inside of it.
Pop those babies open.
So it's kind of on the DL, actually. It's not being advertised, but it might be happening at Marbles tomorrow. And of course, Summer and I co-host the Marble race, as we've done for over a year, every Friday.
As is tradition.
It's exactly traditional. And I think it's going to drop during that Marble race, officially.
So be there.
So think about that. I'll bet you he'll be handing out a lot of those prizes, too.
Oh, yeah, true that.
True,
yeah. All right. Well, that is that's our wonderful news doc. Shout out to Will for compiling that. And it's time to bring out our first guest.
Sounds good.
Yeah?
Bring them out, summon them.
Let's do
the
it.
gesture.
So we're talking to Lido Nation.
Okay, we need to clarify. I've been calling you Lido this whole time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right?
Both is correct. It's Lido in the US, it's Lido across the pond.
Interesting.
Okay. Lido.
What have you been calling him, Tyler?
I say Lido.
Okay.
Lido.
Okay.
I will change that in my head.
Get it right.
We just had
You're just
another
fancy, so you say it how they say across the
Lido, but Evo is how you pronounce our next guest.
Oh, that's true.
Because it was Ivo.
Nice.
So it's the same. I was wrong both times.
Right? Like if you're in the Europe or whatever. Evo is on that side of the pond.
Well, welcome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're very interested to hear about Lido.
Lido. Either way, it's accepted.
Lido. Anyways, we're excited to hear about it. What we like to do is ask you guys to just share the for the layperson what this project is, and then we'll get into some details.
And I know you guys can screen share too.
Oh yeah, of course. Feel free.
You guys want, or we can.
Sounds good. Well, I was told that I should let Fuffy speak more. So I'll let her go first.
Well, I'll start, but you pick it up wherever you want to. I think the story of this project just really starts with the Lido Minute podcast. So that's the base layer. Is the Lido Minute podcast that Darlington over there is spearheading. And the gist of that's right, is that it's going to be a frequently released podcast that is short in length but dense in meaty nuggets of interesting information about Cardano. And
good.
I'm doing so far. That's going to be the Lido Minute coming out later this year.
Oh yeah,
Amazing.
So we're excited about that. And it, that idea of adding audio and adding a podcast and doing more education about Cardano is just all under our umbrella about Cardano education that we're interested in at lidonation.com. But we wanted to add another layer with an NFT project that is really about, I think, introducing I don't know if it's brand new, but it's new to me, like a new way of thinking about NFT utility. And making it arty and fun, artsy, however you want to say that, like caring about the art, but also bringing along like education and newcomer friendliness with the project. So the idea with the NFT project is that you can buy NFTs, but the utility that it offers is that anyone who holds the NFT, it's a sponsorship where your advertisement, maybe for CNFTnews.com, I don't know, just an idea, could appear alongside a Lido podcast, right? So if you hold that NFT, you put out your ad for your show, maybe a special guest that's coming up, maybe go buy our mug, I don't know. It's going to appear alongside that Lido Minute podcast. So it's just like
about that. That's
it's
awesome.
just like radio sponsorship, like in the legacy world, but bringing that into blockchain. And what I love about it is it's this very tangible utility for an NFT, right? It's not just utility though. Like sometimes it's one or the other, I feel like with NFTs. Like either it's good art or interesting art with no utility, and that's fine because art is great. Or like it's all about the utility. Like this is your ticket to the event, and that's cool, but it's like not really about the art. I'm going to make it like a little bit of both and layer them together and have it be fun.
It's kind of interesting too. I mean, this kind of sounds like it's like really marketed towards people building stuff, which is something I really haven't seen, like projects like
trying to get, it's kind of bringing people together that are building stuff too, like because
specifically designed for people who are building stuff. Is that what you're saying?
Right, that the market might not necessarily. Darlington, you look like you're talking, but we can't hear you.
I wasn't talking. My daughter came in. I was talking to her. Still living that COVID life, but I can jump in here. And so well, you may not know the Lido brand or the Lido brand, but if you're new to the brand, we're all about education, right? Our website. I'll do just a quick. I understand. I'll do a quick screen share here. Our website is where you can go. Let's see. Yes.
Okay, yes, we'll pop that up now. Boop. Wonderful.
Okay, great. I'm unable to see, so hopefully you can see, right? So
we can see.
We see. Perfect.
Okay, great. You come to the site and you can learn about Cardano and blockchain in general, right? So if you're brand new and you land on this page,
oh, that's awesome.
right away you sort of know what Cardano and blockchain is, and right away you can sort of like dive deeper to know about Cardano, staking, how to buy it, how to stake it. And then, of course, if you're interested in what this website, what is it, Lido? Is it Lido? Like, what is it? And depending on how you get to the site, it might even be in a different language. So you're like, what's going on? So you can just immediately jump into learning more about what it is we do. But just going through that quickly, you can find news about Cardano that typically about something within the ecosystem, something's changing, something just happened, and we go beyond just the thing just happened, but what it means to you, right?
Oh,
That's
that's
great.
great.
Something much deeper, just a little bit more, right? Just
Mhm.
one step deeper, right? And then of course, we we are known for maintaining the Catalyst Explorer. So if you're in Cardano and you know what Catalyst is, you already know what this means. If you're not in Cardano, Cardano has a way of funding development. If you wanted to see what's being built, who's building what, and all those kinds of information, we maintain the tooling for that. Once you actually go to the Explorer itself, you can see information on 4,300 different ideas. And that's either been proposed as a thing that Cardano needs or an idea that's been developed, right? So they got funded for it, they did the work, they publish it, and you can learn all about what exactly they did. And then, of course, we have, if you're wanting to really dig into blockchain and learn all that stuff, dexes, different how wallets work on Cardano versus Ethereum. We're working on an article right now to cover Ethereum versus Cardano flavor of proof of stake.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I'm
And the
looking
nice
at
thing
these and I'm like, I need to. There's at least 3 of them I've already seen. That would be helpful to me.
right. And the one cool thing about this, when you go into any of these articles, you're not gonna get overly technical speak.
That's
The
great.
plain English, or Spanish or Swahili, and it's gonna be accessible to like normal people. You're gonna read this and be like, "Oh, I get it now." But as I'm going through this, one thing you will notice, we have all these cool graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
These are made by Stephanie over there, which is super cool. Like she makes all of these, if you can believe that.
That is
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah, these are really cool. I was noticing them on the
Can
last
you
one.
buy them?
Right. So we thought that's how the NFT project came in. We sort of figure out, hey, we can, we're not getting paid for this stuff right now. We've gotten some funding from Catalyst, but for the most part, Stephanie and I and Benjamin work on a volunteer basis, or Catalyst will supplement our income. Right?
Mhm.
So we sort of need this to be more sustainable. We like to do it.
Oh, you mean there?
We feel that.
So
Yeah,
you
we're
guys,
in the we're in the
So this NFT project is a way to do that. Now stop.
yeah.
I'll stop screen sharing because we don't have any page for that yet.
When you're offering a service instead of selling NFTs, it becomes a little.
Yeah.
Right. So you buy the NFT, you get one of Stephanie's cool art, right? And then that art comes with an actual nugget of something to learn. We're gonna keep that
Edutainment.
Oh, that's cool
right? We're
too.
gonna keep that a secret for now. It'll be a little thing that get announced later. But then, as an owner of the NFT, you can actually on the blockchain submit something, either an event if you're having an event that's up and coming, just a website if you're trying to advertise a project drop, and then Lido Nation will pull that information from the blockchain and show your ad anywhere that episode that you just sponsor is being shown. So it's gonna show up on the episode page, on our homepage. If it gets featured on the homepage, we will syndicate the episodes to other websites. So when they go to these other websites, your ad will show up there as well.
Wow.
So it's like you buy the NFT and you pretty much get a lifetime advertising space, which means you can buy an NFT, advertise for your event, and then when you're done, you can sell the NFT if you want. And the new owner gets to advertise on that space, which is crazy. So you sort of get your money back.
On a new episode, they do like
on the
how
same
will-
episode.
on
So
the
if you
same-
had episodes, for example, this is what episode 87, right?
Yeah.
So when 87 comes out of the Light of Minute, there will be some amount of NFT that you can buy. And then for as long as episode NFT is shown on the World Wide Web, that NFT and the ad that goes with that NFT will go with that episode. So even after you sell the NFT, the new person who owns it will continue to be able to advertise to episode 87, okay? Which is crazy. So just imagine.
Relevant to mention at this point is that the episodes that we're working at least for this season 1, the nature of the content that Darlington is working on for the Lido Minute is quite durable, I think. I mean, the blockchain has an eternal shelf life, certainly. Things grow and change, but are we talking about what the topic is?
But it's historic in the first season.
Well, it's historic, but anyway, we're not focusing on breaking news or
right.
We are focusing on topics that will have a reasonable shelf life.
Reasonable for example, even like how gas fees work, for example, right? Something that's generic like that, right? So as the market goes from bull to bear, that episode popularity will go up and down, and so it sort of has this because that information would be true still until maybe 20 years from now, everything's changed, right? Then maybe the episodes, you know,
have to get a new NFT.
But even then, maybe it has.
Even then, it'll be memories.
Right? Exactly. Right. It has a historical content.
When is this? When are we able to buy it?
What about what target? We're hoping to launch around Red Bloom. We'll see. We'll see if we can pull it all together.
Yeah. It's the time right now for sure.
There's a lot going on.
Oh man, yeah. That's the big thing that's coming up at Lido Nation. We're getting into NFTs. So
hell yeah,
very exciting.
Here we go. Next phase. Yeah. So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing the overview. I'd like to, if we could just go around the circle, and I'd like to hear from each of you. You know what you guys are doing, what you bring to the project, and then we'll go from there.
Benjamin, you want to start?
Great. Yeah, I'll hop in here. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Right on. Yeah. I work on basically just writing some different articles for the site. I've written one about just my own personal experience as a PA, as a project assessor. I just totally forgot the new acronym. What is it? The proposal assessor.
Proposal assessor.
Thank you. It used to be community.
A lot of things, so it's hard to remember which one.
The name recently changed. I couldn't remember right away. Anyway, yeah. So I wrote one about becoming a PA. I wrote a couple on Cardano staking, and with a specific focus on like what Lido's doing in terms of their own stake pool, and then also the latest one I wrote was a conversation with the controversial Adam Dean about very uncontroversial things. I'm joking around. I really find Adam is a good friend, and I like to pick on him. But he's a good guy, and he came on and he chatted about we chatted about just kind of how to mechanize the blockchain. That's the conversation on mechanizing the blockchain with Adam Dean. Just so you can check that out over on lidonation.com. But I'm writing some other different articles, think pieces about different aspects of Cardano and whatnot. I think Lido and then Stephanie, or Darlington and Stephanie, they both do a lot of very factual based things. What is this? What is that? And really help define aspects of the blockchain. And I'll let them talk more about that. But I guess that's a contrast that I try to take, is to help people to kind of think about the different aspects of this, and maybe sound off in the comments at one day when more people are reading these articles and whatnot. But it's exciting. It's fun. So
I'm definitely hopping into this rabbit hole tonight.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm gonna be checking out some of these articles for sure. This is a trove.
Yeah, Benjamin has brought a little more narrative voice and storytelling to our
very cool
our technology website.
You guys are familiar.
That's important to me, for sure.
I'm sure you're familiar with J Crypto in the space. We work with him on a couple of things. One of the things he says is we have a lot of substance. Now we need some sass.
Oh yeah.
Benjamin's breath has brought in a little bit of that sass. I just sort of find our sassy balance.
There you go.
Damn right.
You're looking
Sass-
really
I've
aligned.
never been
Sorry.
defined. I've just never been defined that way. I'll have to think about that and get back to you, Darlington. I didn't sass.
You gotta snap.
Right on.
Yeah.
There you
pretty
go.
sassy.
That was sassy.
We all saw
That
it.
was stylish.
Awesome. Well, Stephanie, what's your role at Lido?
Right. I'm the official learner at lidonation.com. That's how I got pulled in, was through being friends with Darlington and started hearing about Cardano and blockchain, and I didn't understand what he was talking about, and he was trying to write about it, and I didn't understand what he was writing either. So first thing is I tried to help with that. I tried to help, edit some things that he was writing and say, what do you mean by this? Oh, if I say it this way, is that still correct? And he'd say, yeah, that's still correct. No, actually, not at all. And we would circle around and eventually get to something that was still true and factual and interesting about Cardano or blockchain, but that I could actually understand. And then as we've gone along, I really have just continued in that role, but now producing my own content as I'm, actually starting to understand things. But really how it works is I learn about something and then I turn around and try to explain what I just learned to other people and try to keep that connection. And everything we do, whether I'm writing my own, well, it's easy when I'm writing my own because that's my level. But when I'm looking at maybe something that Darlington is writing, I'm looking at it and trying to help, say that, yeah, we can talk about really detailed technological things, but I think we can still do it in a way that a new person could read it and maybe not understand every single thing. It's okay if there's some paragraphs and some details or well, I don't know what that is, but you can get the gist of what's the takeaway? Why is this interesting? Why should I care at all? Why should I read any other articles in my life about this topic? We can do that, I think, in everything we write. So that's my flavor that I bring, is
integrating it.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
Man, I'm sure y'all are getting better and better at that too. I don't know, it just seems like something that it's kind of like everyone's speaking this new language to some extent because it's all pretty new, and it's kind of like y'all are, I don't know, becoming more experts in the language by trying to condense it and give it to other people.
I will say yes, and it's something that I've thought about exactly what you just said, Summer, is I think sometimes we're getting better at it, and then sometimes I think we start to get lift off in our own little bubble of little insiders club that we're in, and so that does take continued intention to kind of try to keep that little balloon grounded and connected to the real world.
It's funny because it aligns so much with I think what we're doing with the news, learning stuff, trying it's looking into a mirror or something kind of. It's funny.
Cool.
It's interesting at times when we'll be editing a piece or something, and it's the same word comes up in the paragraph 3 times, but there's no other word in crypto right now to be able to define that thing. So it's just called delegation, and we're gonna have to use that 3 times in this paragraph. Delegate. And it stinks as a writer. You're just no, don't do that. But it's just so it is funny trying to so I find us also trying to expand the vocabulary of crypto for others as well. I feel it's part of the job. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah. It doesn't work all the time, I feel for me, but sometimes I think it does. I've seen it work.
That's
Gotta
really
try
cool.
it.
That's
Absolutely.
a cool observation.
Yeah, I've really liked taking a look at your site here. This is a lot. There's a lot more to it than I thought. The Catalyst browser specifically is really cool. I like that quite a bit. I haven't seen something quite as user friendly as that out there. So nicely done.
When can we watch the Lido minutes?
The future.
Okay. Well, we definitely want to talk about that on the news.
Yes, very, very soon.
Okay.
Well, very soon as in not this month. Hopefully,
Yes.
you know.
Definitely. I don't need exact numbers here. I just want to make sure I'm thinking about it around
Before the
time.
year is over. Before the year is over, and when we actually have a landing page and like stuff to show, hopefully to come back on the show.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And
We would love to
actually go through all of the details, the rarities, because we try to make it very degening too. So there's rarities, and they actually mean something.
You need those. You need the rarities.
You're right. You need those rarities.
People
So
want
it has all the hallmarks of a typical PFP and some utility that I haven't seen in the space yet. So
yeah, it's great.
For sure.
I love it. That's rad.
I will say that I have heard a couple of Darlington's, early trials and whatnot of Lido Minute. They're sounding pretty good. And to be honest, I gotta say that I think Darlington's the sassy one of all of us. I gotta say, you'll hear it. You'll hear it.
I've heard it. He's pretty sassy for sure. Y'all all got a little bit of sass. Don't sell yourself short.
That's right. So Darlington, you're listed on the site as an idealist, a realist, and a blockchain guru.
That seems like it should be like a theme song or something. Like that should be made into a song.
How do you balance idealism versus realism? How you embody both of those?
That's true.
Right. That is a struggle, and that is a struggle that happens with the Lido Nation leadership, where I tend to push the idealism way more often than not. Like I'm aware of what's real in reality, but also I'm always sort of looking like at the wild things and always sort of like reaching just a little bit, but trying to stay grounded in what's now and what's possible. And Stephanie is further towards the realism on that spectrum. And so as the leadership team, we balance each other out. And then Benjamin is the tiebreaker if we need it. We balance each other out in the sense that, okay, so I come up with the big crazy ideas, and then everything comes in and say,
what's the next thing we're gonna do?
wait a minute.
Now let's do it.
Our ideas now has these like very well defined phases or chapters of like crawl, walk, run. Typically I want to fly, right? Like I want to fly, sing kumbaya, very idyllic. And then Stephanie is like, great. Now how do you crawl? If you were gonna fly someday, how would you crawl today? And
yeah, take it one step.
That's how we iterate on Lido Nation, and that's how and that's sort of how we balance those things.
That's something I've heard from several different people that I thought were a really good team on the news, is just about that necessary having that dynamic between somebody having these ideas all the time and someone else deciding who, which ones are actually the ones that should lift off the ground. Because otherwise you would spend all your time on ideas that aren't going to lift off the ground, and gotta get it
right. And the one thing that once you start planning the lift off the ground, then you really start seeing the real blockers, and you start to see exactly what it would take, right? And so the idea, there's an even better chance of actually flying if you do start on the ground than if you just jumped off a cliff, right?
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Absolutely.
Because we all know what happens what can happen if you jump on the
She's like, well, what could happen? There's a part of you that thinks you might fly, isn't there?
So we're coming towards the end of our segment here, but I wanted to ask how you all got together. How did this begin?
Yeah, and when?
Yeah.
It's been a slow build. I met Stephanie because I moved to Minneapolis from the great state of Colorado a few years ago, and the first thing I did was this is the first thing I do when I go to a new city anytime. It's like, where's the blues dancing at, right? Where's the when I moved to Minneapolis, and I was like, "Where is blues dancing happening?"
Oh, please.
Dancing was not that many. So I'm like, "Okay, what's the next best thing? Where is swing dancing?" And there's lots of swing dancing happening in Minneapolis. That's sort of how I met Stephanie and trying to go to these dance events. And then we just
Oh, really?
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
But we met at a blues dance, didn't we?
Yes.
All right, blues dancing it up.
That's super awesome.
And then Benjamin, how did you hop on this crazy train?
Yeah, later on, I actually saw Darlington on a weekly town hall for Catalyst, and I am a writer, and I have been looking at trying to enter the blockchain space in terms of writing beyond a few small like one-off projects that I'd done in the past. And so I messaged him, and he wrote me back and said, you might be a fit for one of our upcoming proposals that we have in to find a new writer. And it turned out that I did, and the proposal passed. Thank God. And I was like, awesome. So it worked out. So now I'm doing some writing for Lido. So
Speaking of Catalyst, we do have some proposals on the ballot. Talk about that for a hot minute.
Yeah, please.
Let's pop it up.
So I'll pop back onto the share here, and I won't be able to see again. But
I love to hear how people meet each other and these teams get together, because it's so much. It's always so fun, unlike in the real world. Like it's like, oh well, we hired this person, like
yeah, there's no story. You're just, well, we hired him.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got?
So here we are. It's the Catalyst Explorer. You can go in here to look up all sorts of historical Catalyst thing, but Catalyst happens about every 3 months. There's the previous 3 months, some collection of challenges gets approved. Those challenges go on to the next month. They become the bucket that you have to fit your ideas under. And then those ideas get put on the ballot. Once they're on the ballot, this Catalyst Explorer has a lot of tools to help with looking specifically at ideas that are currently on the ballot. So like I mentioned before, there's over 1,000. It can be hard to sort of see these in clusters, in group, or to see like, okay, this person is asking for 100K. What have they done in the past within Cardano or within Catalyst, right? To sort of help me make my decision of deliver those kinds of things. So I try to make that super easy. One thing we added this year is the ability for a project to record a quick 3 to 5 minutes video called a quick pitch. And if your project has a quick pitch, they show up like this in the voter tool, where someone can just quickly watch a video without having to go read the whole project. And then once you've watched the video and you're sort of happy with what you see, you can add it to this up list or down list, right? And that will get added. You can see the counter here is moving as I click around, right? So this is useful for just seeing all the proposals on the ballot. All the proposals.
Videos are a great idea.
Right. I think we got 101 projects to add videos. We did it sort of late. One of the things I do at Lido is all the coding, all the software that make this happen, the servers. That's all me. I run the stake pool and all that jazz.
Awesome.
So this was a late addition to to the tool for Frontline. And then, of course, you can see proposals by women, for example, tiny proposals, people who are coming to Catalyst for the first time.
Darlington, are you going to tell them that we have a proposal in Fund 9 that we support you to continue doing this work?
Tell us about your proposal, definitely.
One of the things you can do once you bookmark your proposal is you can go ahead and share that bookmark and generate a link. Nice. And then this will make it so other people can see what you're voting for if you want to share that. We've done that and created a bookmark of all of Lido Nation's proposals, all proposals that the Lido Nation team is co-author on. So I will click through some of the ones that we're doing in-house, and then I will share this hopefully in the description below so people who watch the stream can see all the proposals. This is one I'm going to be doing that will make it so a DAO can quickly just do a survey on the blockchain, right? So it's not so much like voting or like trying to send money or anything. You just want to do a survey. You want to be on the blockchain. That will let you do that.
I want to put a link to it in the description, or at least in live chat.
Yes. I don't have access to live chat.
Okay. Well, maybe we can do
if you send it
after.
to the private at the top.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I can send that too. Especially this bookmark has all the proposals. Benjamin is leading this one.
That'd be awesome.
People in Cardano. Stephanie is leading one for our lab we have in Kenya, which we didn't even talk about.
Wow.
But there is a 1 minute clip on what that is.
Dude,
that's badass.
Awesome.
Well, unfortunately, we are out of time, but there's a lot more to unpack here, and I do hope that we can get that link posted. So please do share that, because I'd like to get that out there for the folks who want to follow
Fun 9,
up.
baby.
Hell yeah.
Voting is open, and there's an epic 24 hours Twitter space this weekend that is going to be about the last 24 hours of voting, party, and
I love it.
That's rad.
Hell yeah.
Right, awesome. Well, guys, this has been a lovely chat. Thank you guys again for joining us, and I hope that we'll get to talk to you again in the future. Get you back on the show and see.
Oh yeah, when Lido Minutes pop in.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. And I expect to see another amazing shirt, Darlington, because this one is hard to top.
Right. Will do. I'll see if I can deliver.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, awesome, y'all. Well, thank you so
nice
much
to meet you,
again.
Stephanie
And
Benjamin.
Yeah,
see
great
you
to
next
meet
time.
you.
Thanks for having us. This has been fun.
Hell yeah.
Thank
you.
See you guys.
Guys back. Great.
So cool to see faces behind Twitter Spaces.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Behind the
They've
spaces.
got a lot going on there. Really makes me want to get a Catalyst fund out there for the news. I mean, we could use a writer. Shit, we got a website.
Yeah, certainly after CNFT Con, that might be our
maybe
our
that's
next
something to look at, because it wouldn't be bad. I mean, imagine if we could pay someone to write articles for our website. That'd be really cool. I feel like a dream come true, actually.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. Well, it's now time for our next guest. That's right. We're talking
We love our Serenity Pictures.
Evo of Serenity Pictures. Say hello. Standing ovation from the audience.
Welcome to the Wizard of Mementos, Evo.
Welcome.
I love your audience effects. They choreograph with each other. You know, they're a professional audience. What can I say?
That was going to be one of our next Catalyst proposals, to fund a studio audience that would be professional, and they would just be off screen here, and we just turn our camera, and there'd be, 15 people that we would hire to sit there at all times during all of our live shows.
That's just a reasonable expense.
Absolutely, and the budget will go towards hot dogs, feeding them hot dogs.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we'll pay them, obviously.
Yeah.
Is hot dogs.
Look at this cup. We got to see this cup.
Yeah,
I know
I've
it
seen a
says
lot of it.
VHS.
Is it VHS? Yeah.
This one.
Compare cups.
Yeah.
This is
VHS.
Okay.
VHS and chill.
Yeah. Okay.
Hell yes.
This cup was actually designed by Carlos, one of our members.
Oh, yeah.
Serenity.
Right. Awesome.
We were going through a merch phase, and speaking of merch, I have to say,
Been there.
your mug foo is strong, really strong.
Oh, well, thank you very
You like
much.
the mug?
I love the mug. Yes.
That's great. That makes me feel good, because that's a nice mug you got as well.
Really,
we got these retro. You appreciate it because it's retro vibes.
Retro vibes. Retro all the way.
I mean, it vibes very well with yours, no doubt. Well, thank you for joining us.
We're excited to talk about Clay's Redemption.
Yeah, so many cool projects. I mean, all these different movies that you guys are putting out. Tell us what Serenity Pictures is first, and we'll go from there.
So Serenity Pictures is a collective of two sets of filmmakers. You've got me and Carlos, who are also known as Tin Cowboys, and you have Pumpkin Queen, also known as in real life as Rona Walter. So you have two slightly different imaginative visions, and essentially the three of us were working together anyway on sort of on each other's projects and various things, and then we came across this whole
ecosystem of
weird world, like portal to Cardano.
That's right.
And we created Serenity Pictures as a way for the three of us to basically turn movies into NFTs. I was thinking about this, about how all of this happened, and are you guys fans of 80s movies at all?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Right. So RoboCop. Okay, you've got Dick Jones at OCP, delivering his address to the boardroom, and he says, "Good business is where you find it." And when I was watching that movie at the age of 8, I had no idea what any of that means. It just sounded awesome. Yeah. But now I kind of get where he was coming from.
There's so many movies like that for me now that are so different when I watch them as an older person.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because you feel that back in those days, people put so much subtext and meaning and different currents into these films, which now. Thank you, by the way.
Probably more repressed in general in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
What they're able to say,
Oh yeah, certainly what they're able to put out there.
Yeah. So it either has to be consciously or unconsciously put in there in the subtext.
Yeah, we like subtext. We like putting subtext into movies. Yeah, so basically, so Serenity, how Serenity came about is the three of us, Carlos specifically. Carlos met a dude at a party.
That's a good way to start a story.
A good way to start most things. So this dude is a former bandmate of his that he was catching up with. Carlos is a filmmaker, musician. He was like a musician before he was a filmmaker, and we have these ancillary skill sets, which is how we work together. A bit like your previous bunch, Lido, who are, by the way, absolutely fascinating.
Definitely.
So Carlos, for example, he's a really good professional editor, and this comes from his musical background. He's a drummer and a bass guitarist, and he was in his band, The Badge. But before that, when he was in his first band, I think, if I'm getting this right, there was this friend of his who now trades CNFTs and was telling Carlos all about this, all about Cardano, basically, and NFTs at the party, and something sparked in Carlos' brain the way it does sometimes. One of these visions, and he's like, me, I know where the hooky puck is going. And the answer to that is to turn a movie into an NFT. So this is kind of what we set out to do. And because we into retro stuff, we teamed up with Retro NFTs.
Yes, they're the best.
They started teaching us blockchain. So here we are.
I remember when Rona was first coming in here and coming to Twitter Spaces, and she was just so happy. She was just like on a high that everything was actually, people were actually nice, and y'all were going to be able to get away from sort of the traditional things. And it gives me so much joy to know that so many people's lives are just like completely being changed by being able to take it out of the usual pegs that you had to be stuck in and put it on the track you want to put it on.
Yeah, because it's a very different atmosphere here than in many parts of the film industry. A lot of the film industry is very professional and helpful, but some of it can be very kind of catty and standoffish and territorial. And Rona had the misfortune of dealing with a lot of that type of the film industry. Carlos and I had a slightly different but almost analogous experience with the film industry. So we kind of had to forge our own path. Yeah. Whereas here, this is still a very nascent ecosystem, and everybody's kind of looks out for each other and gives each other advice, and all the links that you can see forming around you. It's really, really interesting. I mean, I spend a lot of my time trying to explain NFTs to non-NFT people because, you know, they say, what do you do? We say we turn movies into NFTs. And they're like, what's an NFT? And there's this...
Here we go.
Yeah.
Right. So exactly. You have to do it in such a way that their eyes just don't glaze over after.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You gotta just show them things, and
well, you said it earlier.
Get a formula, really.
You said it was like a portal to Cardano that you step through, and to me, an NFT is a portal to the imagination from the real world, and it's a connection. It allows these things to exist as equally real in a way, the real world, and then the blockchain-based NFTs, which are just anything you can imagine. And now there's this interplay between the actual financial system and just kind of imagination, which is like
that's never been there.
Yeah, right. And it's disruptive because people aren't sure where it's headed. Like these guys, Lido, right?
Yeah.
The fact that they can't describe what they do in one neat sentence tells you that they've started something which they still can't grasp all the way. That's how complex it is, and that's how interesting it is.
Yeah.
That's
they're writing their own.
They're on the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
I wanted to show the NFT here. This is the Toxica feature film, and as an NFT.
And I gotta know what Tin Cowboys came from.
Tin Cowboys came from a page in a notebook which had like 15 different company name ideas on it, written and crossed out. And I suppose Tin Cowboys, I once saw this comic book with robot cowboys. So I wrote Tin Cowboys in the suggestions list for our company name, and that one stuck.
I like robot cowboy. I like that visual.
I don't want to spoil too much, so I'm just doing some stills from the first third.
Inappropriate since you'll have sci-fi vibes.
Here you have it. Very cool. And you also release these as preview NFTs too, which is pretty cool. So this is a completed Toxica feature film, and
you can watch it on full screen and beautiful.
That's right. It's all watchable. It's all on the blockchain.
And if you got the NFT, you can like download yourself a 4K version.
Dang, I didn't know that.
If you go to source and then follow that link, is that the idea?
I'm not. I probably.
There's actually an instructional video on our Twitter feed.
Okay.
You go to Token Perks portal and then kind of connect your wallet, and it finds the NFT and it says, you are right.
It's a verification sort of thing. That's very cool. Yeah, man.
Now that I've seen the movie, I really wish that I had gotten Augusta NFTs, because I have the movie, but I don't have like Augusta specific.
So you guys are releasing these films, but also other NFTs as well, based on.
There's something really strange going on here. It's Carlos and I had this idea to be working on our first feature film because we were doing like music videos and whatnot before we were 40 years old. So we cooked up this film called Clay's Redemption, which we'll probably get to. And then later on, when we met Rona, we made this film. She made this film, Toxica. I was kind of helping out in the mailroom, as it were. So you've got this movie called Clay's Redemption with a main character called Clay. And then later on, you have this movie called Toxica with the main character called Augusta, which, as you might know, is like Ada Lovelace's actual name, Augusta.
Oh, I did not know that.
Two movies, one movie with Clay as the main character, and another movie as Augusta,
it's crazy.
As the main character, and they later on end up being released on Cardano.
Sounds like y'all are in the right place.
Seems like signs from the universe telling you Keep going. Good job. You made it to the right place. Definitely.
Really
I did not realize Ada Lovelace's first name was Augusta, and I've like tried to learn about her.
King, and she became, it's like Augusta Ada King, I think, and she became Ada Lovelace. Like,
cool.
Because, you know, a stage handle.
It sounds very good as Ada Lovelace for sure.
So let me just read this out, and maybe you can take it away. Clay is a convict and a sleepwalker, moving from body to body while serving his sentence as an enforcer for gods.
Yeah, so Clay's like the button man. So we started with this premise. What if the Greek gods were still around today, somewhere in the modern city thing? You know, back in the day, ancient Greece, they used to be like a big deal. But today...
they were a big deal.
They're not as big of a deal today. Yeah, you know, notice
but
that.
they're a deal for less than this.
They're a deal, but less big, right? So this is like the highlight of the gods.
Yeah.
So they're still out there, you know, in the murky corners of the criminal underworld doing their thing. And when they want something done, they send this dude called Clay. And to stop them having train up a new guy, a new button man every time, they basically use the same guy and then just sort of transfer his soul from body to body as the contract dictates. And so this guy, he's been doing this job for a long time now, and basically he's had it. He wants out, and this is the starting point of the story.
Zeus ain't gonna like that shit.
He's just, you know, he wants his own body, he was his own face, his own life, and they're like, okay, well,
it would be hard to change all the time, to be a sleepwalker.
Well,
and
that's it, right? You wonder what it does to a person's psyche, and we thought about it in depth, and how a character would respond to other people after all this time, and how he would be towards his own body, which is technically speaking not. So, for example, this guy uses his face as a weapon, right? This is why he's got like a thing across his face, because he doesn't care. He just goes through people.
Right.
And the thing about this movie is we didn't have, you know, being indie filmmakers, we didn't have the budget to do like car chases and explosions and flashback scenes to ancient Greece.
Right.
So, we'll kind of approach it like a graphic novel and give you like a trail of clues into this world, but essentially you're on your own, and you as the audience have to find your way through it. So it's not one of those movies where you can kind of park your brain on the shelf and just leave it running. It's more like one of those movies where what you bring to the film is what you'll get out of it, because we like, I suppose we search for a thinking audience. Because, which
gotta make your niche. Yeah,
there's not enough of that right now.
It might seem a little bit presumptuous, but it's kind of what Carlos and I like from films. It's what
interactive.
We like in a film, so it's kind of what we end up doing.
It's a more of an interactive experience.
Yes, yeah. This is why we thought Clay would actually go quite nicely with Cardano and NFTs, because we've built this whole other world around this character, and it'd be really cool to kind of bring people into this world using NFTs, PFP NFTs.
Currently, Clay's Redemption is on the front page of the CNFT news website. I thought I'd just say that.
That's right.
Well, cool.
So here we have
these NFTs are beautiful. I really love them.
Yeah, what can you tell us about the Transcendent 5?
I'm not going to miss out on the collection this time.
So the Transcendent 5. So they're basically the main characters. I mean, yeah, they're the main characters that appear in the film. A gallery of rogues, to put it simply.
They seem roguish to me.
Are you guys familiar with the term film noir?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right. So you know that in film noir you don't get like straight good guys and bad guys. You get people who are kind of in the gray area. So these characters basically, they all pulled out of the gray area. I mean, there might be like one worthy soul among the bunch, but you know, I don't want to spoil it.
No spoilers on who the kind of good worthy soul is.
But these will be dropped.
all people are actually more gray. So I
Yeah,
like
right. I mean, when you write a villain, he thinks he's the hero, or she thinks she's the hero.
exactly, and that's so important to keep in mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone thinks that.
Yeah, right. And if you're a fan of 80s movies, you would have spent most of your time rooting for the bad guy because they're so much fun.
Definitely.
What's an 80s movie or two that you're a big fan of?
I'm in the 90s more.
I mean, I know you got a lot to choose from here, so we don't need your favorite.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be favorite.
You know,
just like a few that
ones.
come to mind as like
Yeah.
good, you know.
Never-ending Story.
Ah.
That's a film which made a huge impression on my 6-year-old self and scared the bejesus out of me.
Yeah, as a kid, that freaked me out.
Yeah. And
but it was very magical. It was quite a journey.
Yeah.
Because it's got an ethereal quality to it. Just everything that happens is almost, it's not like other movies, is it? It just has a different vibe.
And there's not going to be movies like that ever again. I mean, I definitely have a list of TV and movies that I want to show our kids that we're having, like that are old, you know, like I think that's important.
Yeah, definitely. You can't just stick
the
to the
new
modern
stuff is kind of whack.
There's
like,
too much stuff. There's too much of it.
There's some really good stuff, but
there is.
Yeah.
All right, so Neverending Story, love it. And look at this looking up in chat also. Right on board. So
Cardano,
you've hit a nerve there.
A lot of fans
way.
in Cardano, Neverending Story that I've seen.
What about another one? Something more action-y, perhaps.
Okay. So the ultimate, I think the ultimate 80s movie is not actually made in the 80s, but in the 90s. And I would say it's Starship Troopers.
Nice.
Sure.
Starship Troopers, I think, is like a distillation of everything that went down in the 80s into this thing. Because it's written by Ed Neumeyer, right, who worked on RoboCop. And you can see the influences. And I don't know whether he also worked on Total Recall, but that's another Paul Verhoeven gig. So you got Paul Verhoeven and Ed Neumeyer. And then they made this pile of craziness. It's just, Starship Troopers screams 80s B movie. That's why it's so fun.
I have to rewatch that again. You know, it's been a while. Every so
Definitely.
often, you know, some of these movies you got to re-up on and get that full blast. I don't remember it as well as I just remember all the memes, you know, and that's like what really...
Memes are meant to send
I'm doing my part.
You are.
VHS and chill. It's time for some VHS and chill.
Looking up from chat recommends Karate Kid 2 as the best movie from the 80s.
Ooh.
I've seen it.
I'm a huge fan of Cobra Kai.
There's that whole new thing out now. I haven't seen any of that.
Well, the new series, me neither. I'm waiting till I have a few days so I can binge through it.
You want to go through it. Yeah.
Avoiding all the spoilers. So
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Sometimes you got to watch some shows like that for sure. You know you're going to get spoiled.
So, okay, we're getting way off track here. I mean, I want to know about movies, and there you go, you know.
When will the Transcendent 5, the drop is in the next week, right?
So the movie actually comes out, if you're on a whitelist, then you can get it on Saturday. The public mint is on Sunday, and we're kind of doing something slightly different from Toxica because, as you can guess, we're newbies from the blockchain perspective, so we're kind of figuring this out, and it's a very strange combination of film audience and NFT audience. There's an overlap there, but they're not quite the same type of person. So we're adjusting our tactics a little bit and
experiment the whole
and creating something that's a little bit more collectible. So instead of treating the film as a kind of here's lots of tickets, we're actually making a very, very limited release of the movie and then focusing on the NFTs, on the PFPs rather.
Right.
So yeah, our film is if you're on the whitelist, it's out on Saturday. If public can acquire it on Sunday, and we're going to put out a very small amount, something like that. I'm actually not going to box myself in and say exactly how. I'll just say it's a very limited amount. And then 2 weeks later, we're actually going to put out the Transcendent 5. isn't necessarily the finished graphics. We're still working on that, but it definitely gives you a flavor of what they'll look like.
Oh yeah.
Very
I can't
nice.
wait.
For the movie, the limited NFT drop that you do, is that going to be the only way to watch the movie, or is that more like a limited edition collector's edition?
No, it's yes and no.
Okay.
So with Clay, we're doing something unusual because with Toxica, we've kind of put the film out onto the blockchain. Clay we have already released back when we made it. So now
okay.
that is actually
Okay.
being distributed in America on certain VOD platforms, because there's a whole story about how we kind of made our way through the distribution maze as indie filmmakers, which is like a whole other discussion. So what we're doing is we're kind of going back towards our pre-existing intellectual property and merging it onto the blockchain so that we can...
I know about that. Where's literally... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, it's this meeting of film audience and NFT collectors, this kind of dynamic that it's a strange ethereal thing which we're kind of trying to figure out. And yeah, we want to enhance the world of this film, the background, the characters, the stories, and essentially the PFPs are where we're going to go into that a little bit deeper, and also drop in the utilities that take you behind the camera, further into the world.
Yes, we like that.
Go along for the ride of the making of the film and in front of the camera.
And I mean, y'all are literally like the first people doing this. Like, this is so. the viewers don't know like that about that overlap you're talking about. The viewers themselves almost don't know. It's all so blossoming that it's like we have to experiment because there's no one else doing it.
Yeah. It's like the dude in the boardroom said, just follow where your audience are.
Mm-hmm.
And this I suppose this is why we're here on Cardano, because there's this audience that we can talk to directly, which is brilliant for a filmmaker.
Oh yeah. When did you release Clay's Redemption originally?
So originally we were quite ambitious, and we put it out in 2019 in 6 different languages, and it was a strange pre-pandemic, already in pandemic world.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we thought, okay, this is brilliant, because since all the cinemas are shut down, this is a perfect time to put things out on VOD. And as it turned out, it was the opposite. That was nice. Everybody was headed straight in the same direction.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Eclipsed in an ocean of content, like so that strategy totally did not work.
I can see why you would think that, though. Yeah,
here we go.
Definitely.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Coming right up. So we're actually right towards the end of our segment here. So I wanted to make sure we had time to cover any additional stuff you wanted to squeeze in there, any announcements or shout outs or anything like that.
God, I'm sure that 5 minutes from now I'll kind of like facepalm, and say, oh, I should have said that. But essentially, I want to say 2 things. I want to say that the upcoming PFP collection is kind of like us welcoming you into this weird world of the twilight of the gods, that exists next to ours. We kind of created their hangout as what we termed Shadow City. So when we were filming our kind of designing the filming and the production design, we had this idea of this murky place right next to our reality. So I guess this is our kind of hello and welcome kind of thing. That's the first thing I want to say. The other thing I wanted to say is that Pumpkin Queen, aka Rona Walter, designed the costumes for most of the main characters in the film. The PFPs that you're going to see are based on the visual style of them is partly her inspiration. This is kind of like her input in the film. So
amazing.
obviously, Carlos and I chatted about the characters, how they're going to come across. But with, like, for example, Maya and Athena, the boss. Actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. She's in the next. But yeah, many of them. That's Rona's look. Rona's kind
He's
of
a
like
fashionista, so I bet it's amazing.
No doubt. Shout out to Rona. Looking forward.
Imagination where you come up with something, then she'll come up with something completely different and just inject chaos into what you're doing, and it really like gave us a boost in terms of just out there Rona design. There's no other way I can put it. Out there Rona design.
Awesome.
That's what we
I didn't
like.
know that. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I can't wait to get welcomed into the murky underworld that resides next to our world.
It's like Big Joe wants to be a star.
You already are, baby, but we're gonna get you in a movie for sure.
Oh
yeah. Yes, we actually do have a tendency of pulling our friends and putting them in front of the camera. So we can kill them in interesting ways.
Well, we have a green screen in our house, so if you ever need anyone to appear somewhere,
If you ever need some news anchors.
If you need news anchors to talk about the end of the world or something.
And today, Zeus killed 17 more people downtown. Terrible.
That might happen.
See how serious I got there?
Acting.
It didn't really happen. That was fake. All right. Well, this has been a lot of fun. I'm so glad that you made some time and joined us today.
I love the whole vibe of your background and everything. It's just I love it.
I love piles of comics.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
You're perfect for the NFT space.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
True.
You're gonna have a big pile of NFTs back there someday.
That's right.
Can you do that with NFTs?
More and more every day.
It's possible. All right, cool. We're gonna send you backstage, do a little close up, and that'll be that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, until next time. All right, Captain Chestnut would be a great superhero.
As Augusta would say.
Maybe.
Hard on chest.
Captain Chestnut.
Captain Chestnut.
He can't run too fast or his wig will fly off and he has to go back and get it.
Great. Got to get some different powers.
All right. Well, that has been...
Thank you for being here, Stoners Club.
Yeah, that was a good one. A lot of fun. Glad to have done it. Let's see what we have
and check out the Stoners Minute for this week.
We can shout out some of the artists that we're working on for pins with. Actually, just got another confirmation you guys are gonna like. I don't know, huh?
You want to pop up the preview pin and just
a
little oohs and ahs there for the 3 people who are with us right now?
Should we name the people that are collabing on?
Yeah, we actually mentioned that at the Twitter space yesterday as well.
Okay.
The current list, or then current.
Cool.
Here we are. All right, we'll go back to the left side. Yes.
So pretty.
Uh-oh.
Tyler sure
knows
I'm on the new.
So yeah, the pins. These are going to be the NFT pins. We'll have physical pins as well.
The real ones will look very similar.
Yeah.
And you ain't gonna look fly unless you're pinned up from the feet up.
Oh yeah. The back will have, I think, more stickers to like indicate the year because we'll be doing this as like an annual thing.
Oh yeah.
So they'll all be on the same policy. Like it'll be an unlocked policy, and then info from our quote unquote sponsors.
Ooh, Q is watching. He's checking them sneak peeks out.
Two of my favorite people are watching.
Sure enough, Q is on the team of one of our pin buddies.
Yes, he is. He's gonna be one of the.
Honestly, you know what? These pins are gonna be huge. Like the projects that we have. So should we name them?
Yeah.
And guess what? Remember at the summit, like no one even knew what any of these things were.
Yeah, no one knew. Yeah, and they still went crazy.
And they were so crazy for it. And they're literally here for this stuff here. So I think it'll be really cool.
All right, so we got a list of pin people.
It's actually that's it. That's the one. Soap opera pins. We've got Wolves of Rome, Aeonium Sky, Old Money,
I heard about them.
Crypto Nitties, Happy Hoppers, Cardania, Facility 7,
Whoa.
Dirt Birds, Overexposed, and Beyond Rockets.
Oh, we got
And-
rockets? I didn't
And a
know
new
that.
edition.
Oh, did it happen?
I think we got Clay Nation too.
Hey, nation pins.
These pins are now
Holy
$200.
shit.
No, I'm kidding. They're only going to be about 10,
This is such a cool lineup, like, because I mean, especially if this is like a annual thing, like, what a better way to kick off the first year with
Yeah, no doubt.
all these projects.
Yeah, this is a good one. We're really excited about this. So the plan currently is to sell these pins as random polls
Yeah.
online and in person. They'll both be random polls. The in-person ones are for suggested donation, but the online ones you actually do have to send some ADA, but not much. We're thinking 10 ADA, somewhere
Maybe
around there.
12.
Yeah, 12 at the most. probably.
Yeah, I think I've been telling everyone at least like whatever $5 of ADA is at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Because it really does
yeah.
depend on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to get yourself a nice pin from one of these projects for $5 USD.
And I mean, we'll see what happens, but I really hope it like gets people to trade a bit at the con and online. Like if someone's really into, if I'm really into Aeonium Sky and you guys are really into Old Money, like you guys pulling it, like, you know, yeah.
We'll get some trading tents going.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I
That's
can't
really cool.
wait. Can't
Well,
wait
very exciting.
for the whole Disney thing.
So that's that. Good news, good nonsense. You know, good time.
Yeah.
Another one in the bag for PNS Studios.
That was show number 87, was it?
Wow.
Bad.
That's
Those
crazy.
are we're
Almost
just
100.
counting the live shows where there are guests.
Yeah.
Live and guests.
So
we have some
pre-recorded.
and some other stuff.
Yeah.
Not happening. But live with guests 87 times. And here's to another 87. And no more than that. Just another 87 and then I quit.
Yeah, good luck. You're contracted for life like Clay is to the gods. Like you're not getting out of it.
Hugh reminding
Don't
us
mind
about
us.
Vegas taxes. Well, you know, in person it's just a donation, so no tax necessary. We're not selling anything there. Although the
is that
mugs
true?
are
Oh yeah,
All the
yeah.
mugs, yeah.
so we will need to do that.
Oh, actually, you're serious, aren't you? We do. There is a tax thing. Yeah,
But if
yeah.
it's for NFTs, I think we're good. For
Yeah,
the
not
for the
NFTs.
physical items, I think we
Yeah.
have to.
Who knows? We'll see. They haven't
I
started
mean,
that
it
yet.
would. I'm assuming it would just be the same taxes we normally do for NFTs.
Probably.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Well, I think it's time to end this thing. Pretty good show. Long one. Had a couple guests on, but you know,
They
we
were
don't
all
apologize.
interesting. We
just
had-
keep going.
Yeah, we you know, that's why we're glad there's Stoner's Minute and Lido Minute, because it just can't be a minute right now. You
That's
know?
right. So this was our news minute for an hour and 50
Yes.
minutes.
That's right.
Okay, here we go. For CNFT News, I'm Scott Chestnut.
I'm Sumerian Horsegrave.
Now with spaces.